Hello guys, welcome back to the channel. How are you doing? I hope you're okay and I hope that this video is reaching you at a good time. So today Sunday, obviously a very special day like every Sunday, but today was extra special. The fact that we had the excitement of watching the African Cup of Nations, and Nigeria played today, of course. I'm sure you're aware of that, around 3 p.m. and we didn't win that match, which is a bit sad. But again, it could have been worse. We could have lost the game because we actually had to come from behind to draw that one. So the important thing to do right now is to look forward, look on to the next game and train harder, and actually go out there and do even better to get the win. Of course, the next game is against Ivory Coast, which is a much difficult opponent than the Equatorial Guinea. That one's going to be played on a Thursday, which gives us ample time to rest from this game and of course recover and then strategize for that game. So, this one that went down to the against Equatorial Guinea, a lot of updates came up after the whole event, and of course, one of the burning issues was the fact that we had one of our best performers have a scare, an injury scare, and I'm talking about no other one than Yusuf Al Hassan. After that game, Nigerians fell in love with him, and they even gave him some sort of a nickname, Double Engine. Was what he was called by the fans, and then we were worrying because he was stretched out, during the 60-something minute of that game. But it's a good news, guys. But of course, before I give that one, I'm going to first of all share what Peseiro has said after the game. So, Mr. Jose Peseiro actually, felt after the match when he was interviewed that Nigeria obviously did not have luck on their side. He felt that we gave everything. He was very happy with the performance from the team. He was very, very impressed by the team. And he's just a bit disappointed that we didn't that the result didn't reflect what we actually played in that match. And he said that he's sad, he's not happy, his boys are sad and they are not happy because they deserve to win. And but the coach was left with no other option than to say that God is the giver and taker. That God did not write that we were going to win that match. That if it was written or if it was fated to us, then definitely we would have won that match. And he shifted focus to the next game, and obviously said that if we keep performing the way that we did against Equatorial Guinea, that we would definitely get the result in the next game. I, of course, no doubt share his opinion that we did well. We did exceptionally well in the way that we played, but I still feel, a part of me feels like we need to really improve. We need to do better, really, going forward. A part of me knows, I'm sure that Peseiro himself knows that there are rooms for improvements, in the way that we attack, the way that we strike, try to finish our chances, the way that we defended as well. There were a few loopholes that was exploited by the team that we played, Equatorial Guinea. So there are lots of improvements to be made. I'm sure the coach knows this, and going forward before the Ivory Coast match, hopefully the guys get to train. And then he can address all these loopholes that we felt like we didn't really cover, or that we kind of underperformed in those areas. But aside from what Mr. Peseiro said, let me just inform you right now that there is a good news, some really bright, refreshing news, and this one is on the front of the injury scare that we had early after that game on Al Hassan Yusuf. And the good news is that he's now come out. The press, obviously the Nigerian press journalists had a moment with him where he spoke with them he was in a bit of a hurry, of course, after the game. so but he shared some really refreshing words. But before I talk about that one, let me just give a bit of a rundown on the matches that actually went on after that our game, just to really show you that the Afcon is not as easy as it seems. So aside from the Nigerian match, we after that Nigerian match we had Egypt playing Mozambique, and yes, everybody obviously expected Egypt to win that match. In fact, we expected it to be a cruise in the park, a walk in the park for them. But and of course, when the match actually started, Salah was very quick to score a goal in 2 minutes, and we are like, hey, this is going to be a very, very easy match. But what really happened in the end, Salah and the Egyptians were literally begging to draw that match. They almost lost that match, but in the end, they had to end the match with 2-2 score. Mozambique really played. If you check that game's possession and all-round statistics, they really held their ground. And then again, we saw Ghana play as well. Ghana actually lost to Cape Verde 2-1. This goes to show you that Afcon, there are no easy teams in this Afcon. And of course, when you look at what Nigeria actually played, the 1-1 draw, you would appreciate the guys the more, because we know that we expect Nigeria to win against these teams. But when you see the result that some of these other big countries are playing, then you would know that Nigeria obviously have a chance as well. So that being said, let me just go straight to the good news about Yusuf's injury, and he's now come out to clarify that what he had was just a cramp. He actually said this in an interview with a Nigerian journalist. He said he had a cramp, and hopefully he's going to be back full fit and fully ready to be in contention against Ivory Coast. Of course, the coach still has the final say as to whether or not he's going to feature Yusuf in the next game. But I'm sure that he held his ground. His performance was top notch, one of the best in that night on that evening, next to Lukman. So if the coach wants, if he's fully fit and he's ready, and the coach wants someone to really perform in that midfield and cover all grounds, he's definitely going to look up to Yusuf to feature him in the next match. But then again, that's all that's just come out from the recent updates. Nigerian Super Eagles are back, trying to recover now. They'll go again on Thursday against a much stronger opponent, which is the Ivory Coast national team. They're also the host country. They will be very, very ferocious. They will be determined to try and get something off of Nigeria. That's the updates, guys. Thank you for catching this one. I appreciate every single one of you for your comments, for your contributions, catching the videos, and every single thing. If you're just catching this channel for the first time, please subscribe to the channel and welcome to the community. Stay tuned for more updates.